All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to TikTok Shop Insiders podcast, where we talk about the latest news and strategy for TikTok Shop. My name is Ivan. We have here Pat and a special guest today. We have Zoe on the podcast today. Hi, Zoe.
Hello, hello. Thanks for having me.
A little bit of background. Zoe is a TikTok Shop affiliate. She's been doing it since December and has had great success on it. She was actually my first TikTok Shop friend. In December, I was kind of reaching out to all these different people. Zoe and I got on a call and started talking TikTok Shop stuff. We've been kind of friends ever since and doing working on this project together called the Affiliate Academy, where we teach people how to be TikTok Shop affiliates. That's coming up soon. But in the meantime, I wanted to take some time out and discuss, a huge topic in the TikTok Shop world: how to outreach to TikTok Shop affiliates, how to do it at scale, what are affiliates looking out for. Pat, do you have any kind of questions for Zoe or kind of things you're looking forward to in our conversation today?
Yeah, I mean, picking her brain about anything and everything, right? We know TikTok Shop from the brand side, because it's very similar to what we've seen on Amazon, but it's different seeing it on the affiliate side. So would love to pick Zoe's brain and get all her insight into what she's seeing on her side and how brands, that we work with on the agency side can position themselves to have success in reaching out to affiliates like Zoe.
Awesome. So the first part of it's going to go a little bit of setup, how to kind of get your TikTok Shop affiliates and some groundwork there. And then we'll go into deeper kind of questions with Zoe on, what she sees on her side once people start reaching out to her for these sales. So, I talked about this a little bit ago, but there's maybe one characteristic of a successful TikTok Shop project, TikTok Shop campaign. You can have a mediocre listing. You can have, pricing be all strange or high or low. But if you're not doing this correctly, then you're not going to have success on TikTok Shop. And that's pretty sure. And that is outreach to TikTok Shop affiliates. The better you do it, the more success you're going to have. And so we wanted to have this episode as the ultimate guide to finding TikTok Shop affiliates. And to those who are kind of new to TikTok Shop, what affiliate outreach is. So on TikTok Shop, you have your TikTok Shop listing and you have affiliates who make videos. Outreach is when you as a brand will reach out to affiliates through the TikTok Shop Seller Center dashboard, and you'll kind of pick and choose which affiliates you want to send your offer to, right? So you have product, let's call it a cup, and it sells for $20. You will now reach out to affiliates to say, hey, affiliate, do you want to promote my product, make a video of it? I'll give you 20% commission on that. And the affiliate will either say yes or no. And TikTok Shop's portal will take care of all the kind of the tracking of everything. If you both accept, TikTok will tell you as a brand to ship the product to the affiliate, and now the affiliate will make the video, and TikTok Shop backend will record that and make sure that's all the video is created, and then track the sales from there. So that's a little bit of background of kind of how it all works. TikTok Shop is unique in that it takes care of all that for you. And now you have a mechanism where if you get 100 viral videos, that can translate into $1 million of sales. Did I miss anything there, Pat, or kind of anything?
Well, one unique thing we can get Zoe's perspective on is what does it look like once you get a sample from a brand? Like, what are the requirements that you have to follow as an affiliate?
Yeah, there's it's not really too intense. It's really just you have about 14 days to either post your video or go live with that product. And then if you post a video, it has to be up for 3 days minimum for it to count towards your sample request. So if you're doing a sample request, you have to do that in order to get more sample requests. So then that pushes us as affiliates to actually post about it or go live about it, just outside of like talking with the brand. So there's just really that. Other than that, if the brand ever like wants a certain hashtag in it, or there's certain points about a product that we need to make in the video, we can do that. But it's pretty easy, honestly.
You mentioned lives.
Yes.
And for those not aware, a creator can make a video and record and post that. Can you tell us a little bit about Lives and how your experience with it? Do you prefer it? Do you not? Is it still something you're working on? But maybe a little bit explanation of what that is.
Yeah, so lives are a little bit more, I guess, labor intensive because you need to be, present. You need to be on there. You don't always have to put your face there, but you have to make sure that the product you are talking about and trying to get people to buy it has to be in the frame. Otherwise, you'll get a violation. But other than that, it's actually not too bad. It's the best way to honestly get the fastest and quickest sales and to fulfill your sample requests. For some reason, TikTok is like, okay, you did it. Good job. You don't have to go live for 3 days with the product. It's just like, you did it. Great. And the only other thing is that you have to have that product linked in the video for like 10 minutes versus you waiting for 3 days. But just doing the live stuff in general, it's really fun. I play games with people on there. There's a game called Canoodle. It like picks your brain, and it's really fun and it's very interactive. So if you have a product like that where it's very interactive with your audience, you'll get sales and then you'll also get follows. It's really just a fun time. You just have to block out time for that, and it's not as passive as videos are.
Yeah, you mentioned in your response violation points, and that's something I don't think about a lot as a seller. You know about violation points, but I maybe wasn't sure that creators get violation points. Could you kind of share a little bit about that, like what your experience is?
Oh my goodness. I've only gotten 2 violations, and they weren't so you have 24 points until you basically get suspended or that your account could be terminated. I don't think it's like in general your TikTok account gets terminated. It's just like you can't sell anymore. But different kinds of violations will assign different point amounts. So I've seen some where it's like 2 or 3, but then other people have gotten like 6 violation points for something.
Yeah, what do you get them for typically?
So the only thing that I got them for was literally when I was in a live and I was doing a makeup get ready with me, and I was like, showing the products, putting it on, but the AI just flagged me and said, "No, you're not showing the products." And I was like, "Yes, I am."
So by you putting it on didn't constitute showing the product. You kind of have to like visually show like this is
Yeah,
a
I don't know
box,
if
or more so than normal, I guess.
I don't know if it was like a new thing because I've done them before and I didn't get flagged, but for some
Yeah,
reason that one it did. So I just went through my live and screenshot every single product that I linked, and I was like, yes,
right.
I appeal it. Here's all my information. Here's every single
Yeah.
screenshot. I don't know. Maybe it's just the AI bot's a little funky
Yeah.
right now.
Well, that's my like one of my kind of questions as a seller on the seller side is, couldn't someone, an affiliate, just make a video and say, then tag the products and just count that as like a sample request or like fulfilling their sample request? And it's nice to know, I guess, from a seller side that there is some kind of policing that happens, albeit being all over the place, not reliable at all, and maybe picking and choosy, but at least there's like something in place that you're just not giving a sample and just it being on a live, and then who knows what the live kind of represents, right?
Yeah, you'd have to be in the live to actually see what the seller is doing. I mean, there's some sellers who like try to promote the same thing over and over again, kind of like the Miyoki cups, which are very popular, the taller tumblers that are like
Mm-hmm.
competing with the Stanley. A lot of people go live and just is like, look at all the different colors and stuff. But when it comes to videos, there are a little bit stricter because you have to watch what content you're putting out. Like it has to be all original. You can't be grabbing it from someone else's video.
All right.
You can't say dupe. Apparently,
Right.
you cannot say dupe. You can't say anything like that. And also, you need to avoid saying other brands' names. So,
All right. Okay.
Miyoki has told me, do not say Stanley in your videos. Do not say that at all.
Right.
You'll get in trouble. We'll get in trouble. Just don't even compare it to that. Just like have it as its own standalone product.
Yeah. Similarly, like, there's kind of copyright with other brands, but also in the supplement space, I imagine there's a lot of like weight loss or, just ways you use different words and to policing that way. So you got to be strict on that.
Absolutely. Yeah, when it comes to things like that, you can't there's also violations for over exaggerating what a
Okay.
product can do. So definitely that's why I stay away from supplements personally, because first of all, it's going to take a while for me to actually like see if there are any kinds of results, but also it's like they're not regulated, and I don't know, it just seems like a can of worms and I stay away from those
Right.
personally.
Cool. Some insights. So the next part of this podcast is going into the meat and potatoes of what an actual affiliate strategy looks like. Pat's going to go into, what the setup is on the brand side, what's the best practices, and then, my idea was Zoe to kind of talk about like, is this the right strategy? What if you get presented with these kind of communications? How does that look like? So Pat, if you would go ahead and kick it off with the affiliate strategy, what we typically like to do with our clients for kind of onboarding to start.
Yeah, so when we're onboarding clients, we'll typically get a sense of one, how many samples are they going to be able to give out, like what their inventory situation looks like. From there, we'll start putting together a couple of scripts. So like we mentioned earlier, there are options to like create bots that kind of like mass message a bunch of people. We tend to take a little bit more catered approach and try to personalize as much as we can. So we'll come up with multiple versions of scripts that we'll send to creators. Definitely trying to add personalization. If we can include their name, if we can include a mention of their content of some kind that shows that we're human, we're not like a machine. I would imagine it's pretty. We mentioned in the past podcasts that creators are getting bombarded in their inboxes, right, with DMs. Zoe, you can attest to this. What's your inbox look like right now as far as like the messages you're getting?
Chaos. Like I'll get messages at like 3 a.m. and I'm like, why? 3 a.m., 5 p.m., like any time of day, I always at least have like 2 or 3 messages and I'm like, I didn't open it. And then one weekend I didn't open them at all. I had over like 200 messages just in my TikTok account alone. And I was like, oh no, I messed up.
That's insane. So, I mean, we're trying to work around that issue too, because we understand this is an issue for affiliates to even just sift through the hundreds of DMs and messages that you're getting in your inbox. So, a couple strategies that, we definitely want to implement at the very basic part of it is making sure our logo, the brand logo is in the profile. So you're not showing, that gray standard shop logo that's in the DM, because that's the first thing that the affiliate will see. The second thing is they'll see about the first 30 characters within the message in their in the preview window of their DMs. So making sure you're including their name, if you can include maybe a commission rate, maybe a piece of their content. Zoe, what do you think stands out to you in your inbox within those first couple characters?
So definitely the profile picture, the shop name, and if they say my name in the first like bits of their message, for sure.
Cool.
Those are like my big things. And I'm like more inclined to tap on it and then see what they have to say.
Yeah, and I think from the research I've done as far as like the automation side of it goes, there's not a whole lot of options to pull in the creator's name to personalize, the messaging to them at scale, right? It has to be a one-on-one, like copy paste type of messaging that goes out there in order to get that personalization. So I'm sure the automation technology is going to get more advanced as they go. And so, but as of right now, it's still pretty easy to pick out which ones are bot generated that are sending out to affiliates. Another way to break through some of that clutter too, one thing that my wife noticed in her affiliate journey is brands that would comment, like her post, and then comment within her posts to get the attention. Because when you think about it, you're competing with like maybe a couple dozen comments on a post versus hundreds of messages in an inbox, right? So if you like somebody's, if I were to like one of Zoe's posts, she would get a notification of it, see it within the comments. She's actually probably, best practices for affiliates is to engage with comments in the comment section because it drives engagement. And so that's something that we want to try to employ too. But Zoe, do you think that's something that stands out to you?
Absolutely. Like if I see a brand name and they liked, like even if it's like 1 or 2 videos, I'm like, oh, hi. And then if they comment, I'm like, oh, now I really want to like talk with them because like they want to engage with me. It's more than just like, just a message. Now it's like, oh, we're seeing your content. We see you and we want to work with you. And I'm like, okay, I like how interactive it is. So yeah, not a lot of them do that. Usually they do it after if I'm already working with them. I've had somewhere like, oh, you should DM us. And I'm like, or you could DM me.
Yeah.
Right.
But
sometimes you just want to be pursued a little bit. I get it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. One of the questions I have for you are taking a step back about pricing and commissions and kind of the product itself. When Pat and I talked to a new client and we talked to kind of devise a strategy for their TikTok shop, one of the things we suggest is like take a look at your profit margins and what's a commission that they could afford to give up in this kind of new phase of, this testing process of TikTok Shop. And so we always suggest for our clients to like set that maximum profit that they can have per product, right? Because that's just going to be more attractive to affiliates, right? You again want to stick out in the inbox, you want to stick out as a brand, you want to stick out as a product. So like, can you talk to me of like how you go in your inbox and kind of peruse and when you like, is pricing and commission a big factor? I'm pretty sure it is, but like, can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I think I'm a very picky person when it comes to my inbox. So already, if you don't have a profile picture and it's just like the standard little gray like house or shop thing, I don't want to look at your message already. And if your name is just like your first and last name for some reason, or if it's like a bunch of random characters, already red flags to me, because now I know it's like a bot or it's just some other person that's like trying to send traffic to another shop. And then in the first few characters, if they say, hello, TikTok Trailblazer or TikTok Master, or I've gotten somewhere it just says hello, and then it's like parentheses, creator name, close parentheses. And I'm like, you're joking, right?
Yeah.
My name is right there. I don't know. But those I'm like immediately, no, next. But if I do click on the message, usually it says my name, and maybe they say, oh, we could do this much commission, or we like your content. It really fits with, it aligns with our brand. I'm like, okay. Another thing that I go through after I like read the initial message, sometimes they'll send like the product card, which is what I love, because then I can just see exactly what they want me to sell. And if it's something that I can sell, I'm like, okay, cool, great. Then I can move forward. And if it's something like that is nothing related to my content, like a fishing rod, for example, I don't fish. My father does, but I don't. I'm like, you didn't even take a peek. You don't even know what I do if you're going to send me a message about a fishing rod or like lawnmowers or something. It's like, that's not my content.
An important thing you said there is the product card. That's,
I love the product card.
just ease of use. You don't have to look up a brand. You don't have to double click XYZ. You can just go straight to the product. You find out the commission rates, etc. But I guess would you say like price and commission versus how much you like a product? Is there something that you're kind of leaning towards more than other, or do you do both or a combination?
I kind of do a combination, but I'm definitely, since I started, I was like, oh, I'll get whatever that I like. Wow, this is so fun. But now I'm like, if this has a high commission rate and I know I can sell it, I will get it even though I don't need it.
Got it. So to summarize, let's make sure you have your avatar. Let's make sure you have a competitive commission rate and price of a product. Let's make sure your messaging is kind of not bot worthy, or doesn't come from a bot. Try to personalize as much as possible. I think you also mentioned to me before follow-ups, and not just one message, but that kind of sticks out in your inbox as well.
Yeah, I love follow-ups. Like personally, if I'm pitching to brands, I send a follow-up. Like maybe not like every single day I send a follow-up, but like in like a week, I'll be like, hey, I'm here still. Do you want to work together? I just like follow-ups. I feel like it really just shows that they're very eager to work with me, and that, they really think that this is like a great collaboration opportunity. So I'm like, okay, I'll take a look. All right. But if they just send like the same message 3 times, no, you get blocked.
Got it. So people will even send the same message multiple times. Yeah, I imagine that's just a automation kind of resending whatever message they had in their queue, and then just somehow you came up in their search again. So
yeah, I've gotten the same message 3 to 5 times from one person. I'm like, no, sorry, you lost me completely now. Now it's like I'm blocking you because it's spam.
Yeah, interesting. I guess one question that I've always wondered is like, what's the best message you received? Like, what's something that just sticks out? Like, oh, this is really good, or maybe something that you could fall back on and say, like, if I were to message, this is how I would make it.
Yeah, I definitely the ones that say my name and they've said that they really liked my content. I'm like, okay, great. Honestly, after like the first message, it's kind of like, okay, I'll say that I'm interested. It's really like the aftermath where it's like we can build a relationship. There's a bra company that I'm working with that I'm getting a lot of sales for, and they are so sweet. They are so nice to me. They're like, "Oh, do you want more?" And I'm like, "Sure." I told them the other day, I was like, "Hey, this one didn't fit me. Can I like exchange it? Can I send it back to you? You can send me a different size." And they're like, "Oh no, you can just give it away. We'll send you a new one right now." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." Then they sent
Very
me two
cool.
more. So it's like things like that. And they also interact with the posts that I'm posting about their products. They send like little heart emojis. They reach out to me. They're like, "Hey, we want to promote your video." Like they're so like interactive. They're very into it. And it doesn't feel like I'm talking to a bot at that point anymore, because now it feels like I made a friend. So
Nice.
those are like one of the best interactions where it's like an actual person and they want to work with me and they actually really do like my content. So
Very nice.
yeah.
Nice, nice. One thing that Pat and I always, or just it's standard now for our new clients, is creating a creative brief for the affiliate, right? So, what are the brands guidelines? What's the best way to talk about the product? What are some successful, UGC, Instagram posts that we've had, and bringing that information to the affiliate creator? How does that it help you? Does it kind of hinder you? Like, what are your thoughts on that? You always welcome it. What do you think when a brand sends you like a brand brief?
So I like brand briefs, especially if I don't really know the brand at all and they're like actually like an established brand and not like a drop shipper. I'm like, "Oh, great. I don't have to think about all the talking points you just gave them to me. I'll just come up with a quick little script. Bing, bang, boom." Filming is usually very, very easy. Um, the only thing I have issues with certain briefs is if I'm requesting a sample, so I have like the 14 days to fulfill it. They ask me to do it like in 3 days of receiving the product. I'm
Yeah,
not doing that. I will then follow, just like TikTok says I have 14 days, I will be doing it in 14 days. But if they decide to send it to me outside of like the TikTok logistics, all of that stuff,
yeah,
then I'll be like, "All right, I need at least a week. At least a week, because I got a lot I got a lot to do." Um, if I really, really love the product, I'm really excited about it, I'll put it at the top of my to-do list, but I like
right.
to do it in the way that, the DMs come to me, not in the way that things arrive to me. I just feel like it's a better following method.
Got it. And
So,
you mentioned this a little bit, but let's say you get a product from a brand, and you semi like it, you don't love it, but something that Pat and I recommend is reaching out to that affiliate again and maybe giving them a little bit of inspiration, or like, these are other videos that are doing well. Why don't you take a crack at doing this? I know you had some mixed reviews on that, kind of like maybe it doesn't fit your style. But
yeah.
what are your thoughts on kind of like a brand reaching out again to possibly make another video, right? Because you already have the product. So like, what are your thoughts on like them reaching out again?
I mean, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. I feel like it's worse if they're like comparing like my content to like someone who has, I don't know, more success to me. It's like, I don't know. It could feel a little weird, but if they're like, "Oh,
Right.
could you maybe do another video, but can you focus on this talking point? Like, we would really prefer that. We would really appreciate that." And I was like, "Oh, okay. If I missed something and you want something more to talk about, like
Got
the
it.
gnocchi cups, if I need to hold it over my head to show that the water won't fall out, and I didn't do that in my other video, I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's a really good talking point. I should probably try and do another video for them."
Right.
But if
But
they're like,
once it gets to like comparison, it kind of feels a little weird.
yeah, because there's a lot of other factors that goes into someone's video that's like like post the post,
Right.
where it's like they could be boosting it and I just don't know about that. And it's like, is it really organic, or are you pushing that video and you're just saying it's a good video? Nah.
Yeah. In our previous conversation, something that stuck out to me was that it's not your style. Like, that's just not what you make. That's not what you're used to. And you forget that, these creators have their own style and they make their
Yeah.
videos the way they want to do. And you can't, force a square peg into a round hole. Right. So you got to kind
Yeah.
of be
Yeah.
sensitive to that as a seller.
I feel like it's something really important when you start looking for creators, is like if it actually does align with your brand and you actually do like their content. Like, you don't have to
Yeah.
be following them, you don't have to watch every single video, but if you can watch 3 to 5 videos, you can see what their style is and how they sell a product and
Right.
how it does.
You
So,
mentioned, yeah. So one of our kind of pillars of our affiliate strategy is a two-prong approach. Pat mentioned it earlier, but a more catered approach, finding creators in your category that speak your brand voice and messaging them accordingly, right? And hoping that you kind of stand through the fog with your brand, right? Another way is the kind of the mass automation and getting your numbers up there. And there's pros and cons to both, and which is why, you know, we have affiliate managers to do the more catered approach. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of, you know, kind of, you know, hand holding and, you know, special messages, etc. But I think it is worth it, especially to get those high quality videos and high quality relationships. And then the kind of the mass approach of kind of sending all messages out there and then picking after that. So I think there's definitely pros and cons, because I think TikTok Shop affiliate outreach, it's a numbers game at the end of the day, and scale, and how you can get the most videos created, because you're just going to have more success with more videos. That's what it comes down to. So multi-prong approach is kind of what Pat and I have recently kind of adopted or kind of preach.
Yeah, definitely. That definitely sounds like a good game plan versus just like, you know, shooting your shot in the darkness and hope that something comes from it, you know?
Right. I want to speak a little bit about like Spark codes and how that has come into the mix, right? So for those not aware, you have an affiliate, they'll make a video, it gets somewhat traction, it gets you sales. And then there's, or even if it doesn't, there's a thing called a Spark code. And essentially that's a little code that the affiliate can give the seller to, so the seller will have the code and then they'll put it in their ad platform to put money behind it and essentially boost or spark that video. The affiliate will get multiple things. They'll get more kind of exposure, right? More behind the money, as well as they'll be able to keep the commissions that they're having for the product. So I guess, what's your experience with Spark codes? Have you seen success with them? I know you get reached out all the time by brands asking for them, but yeah, what's your experience with Spark codes?
So before I started doing TikTok Shop, I have done like, they had like this kind of like a creator place where you can reach out to brands that have like campaigns, and then they'd ask for the Spark code and then they'd boost it. So I was already familiar with Spark codes, and personally I love Spark codes. They are amazing. They really do help push your video out farther than you ever thought it could. Like I have a couple of videos that have hit 500,000 views. Some are like in the 300s and 400 views, which is crazy. And then the views just, the sales just roll in because it's being pushed out to so many more people. So,
yeah,
I mean, organic can be good too, but once you have the Spark code and like a brand actually puts money behind it, it will go far, like real far.
Yeah, one thing that we've learned, Spark codes is kind of unique, right? One thing we've learned is if you as a seller, if you Spark code too early, it might hinder the viral effect of a video, right? And so what we like to do is put money behind a video after it's kind of gone its course and it's, you know, kind of plateaued a little bit, and that kind of boosts it as well.
Yes.
Plus, you get that video that has plateaued already has millions of views. So adding some dollars behind it will essentially retarget, and you know everyone knows that retargeting is like the most valuable asset in the ad space. So cool. We're wrapping up here. Pat, do you have any kind of last second questions or kind of questions that have been brewing in your eyes?
No, I mean, this has been a great insight. We like I mentioned, we don't typically get to see the affiliate point of view as much as we talk mostly on the brand side. So it's great to have Zoe here to provide that amazing insight from her perspective, and that, you know, helps us position brands to get in front of these affiliates and stand out more. But she's answered all my questions.
Cool.
Well, that's good.
One thing I also want to mention is I mentioned to you in the beginning that Zoe and I are working on a project. It's called the TikTok Shop Affiliate Academy. Essentially, you know, Zoe has seen great success on TikTok Shop being an affiliate. Kind of cute story that I like to share with people is Zoe is recently engaged, and her success on TikTok Shop affiliates is, you know, helping to fund her wedding and kind of, you know, all expenses. So that's super awesome. Like,
Yeah.
can you speak a little bit about that, Zoe, or like your newfound TikTok Shop success?
Oh my God. So not only is it like I'm being able to put money for that, but I can also pay my very lovely student debt that I have acquired.
Right.
So it's like, oh, finally. And then I can buy groceries. I could pay for the electric bill. Yesterday, I made more money than my fiance did in a day.
Yeah.
And
There you
he's
go.
an electrical engineer. So
Right.
Amazing.
So all in the end of the day, like Zoe and I are kind of taking all of her skills and lessons, everything she learned, how to be successful. We're packaging that up into a course, a community, a place to learn where anyone that doesn't know about TikTok Shop, doesn't even have TikTok Shop or TikTok installed, can go into our course and figure out how to do it. We'll teach you how from zero all the way to your first affiliate sales and even more. Right.
yes.
So it's just going to be Zoe teaching her what she's learned, and then a community behind that to kind of nurture and usher them along the way. Zoe, anything you want to add to the kind of our affiliate academy?
Oh my gosh, I go into all the nitty-gritty stuff. Like if you want to learn about like all the products you should not be looking at, like how to do the spark codes, how to literally film a video all
Yes.
the way to posting that video. I take you through the whole thing. So if you have never posted on social media before, this is the course for you. I'm going to show you
Right.
everything. So
Right. You'll find that at TikTok Shop Affiliate Academy.com. It's TikTok Shop Affiliate Academy.com. It's under construction right now. We're kind of tying up the bows on the video editing, uploading, etc. So you'll see it up in the next couple of weeks, but link will be in the show notes. So we're super excited for that. Hopefully it can kind of provide someone out there with how to be a great affiliate. So super excited about that. What else? I think that ends it for this episode. If you need help with your affiliate outreach, scaling that your affiliate outreach, don't hesitate to reach out to Pat or I, TikTokShopInsider.com. And yeah, that concludes it. Any last kind of notes for you guys? Sign off.
that's it.
All
Thank
right.
you so much.
Yeah, thank you for your time, Zoe.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thanks for
Pat, for
joining.
hanging out. All right, we'll catch you next time. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.